made. I've never really seen pricing or like taking away features like that. Usually
Yeah.
you just have all the features in one thing.
Hmm. Wait, what's this film?
Okay, we're live, I think. Anyway,
Oh, we up?
yeah, finally. Yeah, sorry about that. Finally got it sorted.
Yeah, took us a sec, but we be here.
Yeah, I think it's all working out. Hopefully the audio is fine. Yeah. So, you guys want to talk about camera some
Yeah.
more?
I
Oh
mean, we
no,
could
no.
do if anyone's actually like still interested.
You guys have a pretty fulfilling conversation about that, or we could just move on to some like something more general if you want, wherever you want.
I don't really mind, honestly. I could probably like gush about my Polaroid camera for like weeks, basically. But
Or we could talk about like how conversations are taken out of context, like what just happened before. Before I wait, are you recording now? Then
I'm
uh,
recording and streaming.
oh
Hopefully that'll
wow,
work out decently.
yeah,
it might. So
hopefully it's not gonna like all fall apart.
so yeah, imagine like he was like he didn't let us know that he was recording beforehand, and we're just talking about like, oh yeah, like I here's your DMs, here's what you said to the minor at this time.
Yeah. We're literally just talking about like cancelable shit. I mean, within context. In context, it made sense. But now,
Yeah.
do we
Well,
do we even explain the context or?
Nah, it's probably no need. Like, we're too small to get cancelled. Like, no one's gonna
Yeah.
watch this.
I
No,
mean,
yeah.
so technically we can say whatever we want, and this is why. And then suddenly I get cut off like from editing. Like,
Yeah, YouTube can still take us down, but like, yeah, we're no. But it's like,
Yeah.
oh, like the second Avatar video like fucking flopped.
Ah,
It's
yikes.
not getting pushed out. I got some copyright stuff on it. However,
Hmm.
like it said it would be fine and my video would be unaffected, but I kind of don't believe that now.
Yeah.
I think the
Nah,
way
that's
that
a
YouTube
shame.
works is like they don't obviously have real people always checking it up because that's just impossible. I think it must be due to some AI or something.
Mm. Well, it's definitely
I
Yeah, it's
AI.
all like algorithm shit.
Yeah, even Instagram does it. Speaking of which, when stuff gets taken down, I've had this way too many times on Instagram. So I would comment something, and then it will say that my comment is offensive or like is spam or anything, and I really don't know why. Because okay, yeah, coming from me, sure, the offensive part, but I'm checking my comment and it's not actually offensive. So
Well,
why is it saying it's
yeah, well,
offensive? I
don't repeat
can't
it. I'll
understand.
just take your word for it.
Yeah. Yeah. But like there was one time where this truly baffled me. So whenever I have like a funny reel to send to my friend, sometimes I won't send it. I'll just look at a comment in the comment section, and if the comment's really funny, I'll reply to that comment but add my friend's tag in, so like or username in, so he'll be notified that I'm sending him that specific comment, which
Hmm.
is what you can do on Instagram, right? I did it, and then immediately it said it was spam because apparently I've done it before. But
Oh.
of course I've done it before, and it shouldn't count as spam. That doesn't make any sense because the last time I did it was probably about like 2 weeks ago. So it was really, really odd how that works. And then the last time my comment actually got banned or something was it was on this like really stupid Instagram reel, and I just gave my opinion on the reel itself, but it said I was being offensive, and yet I read back on my opinion and I was just like, I don't know how it's offensive. And the thing is, I can't even show the opinion now because it deletes it for you, so I can't even remember what I said. But I can guarantee you it wasn't in no way like malicious or harmful. It was just basically giving my opinion on the reel itself, and it's weirdly set up for the way like and I might be wrong here. I really wish I am wrong, but I only see women from what I can tell commenting on it, but there were no male comments, and I can tell male comments from women comments from female comments based on what they're saying. It is quite obvious.
Hmm. Well, I'll just take your word for it. But what have you guys been up to? You've seen anything lately, or have you just been too busy?
I'm planning on trying to see Civil War this week.
I mean,
So
I have no interest. Like I just feel like it's I just don't care about it, to be honest. It's just not something I'm too bothered
yeah,
with.
I don't know. I wasn't insanely interested, and then when I went to see Dune, they played the trailer before, and I kind of just went, "Oh shit, this actually looks really good."
I mean, I hear
So
it's like good in the sense that it's a good like portrayal of like on the ground reporting.
yeah, yeah.
But like beyond, it's not, I don't know, it's not really something I'm particularly you know
I mean,
particularly care for.
I'm not like super well versed in America or its politics or its but I think that like I like the concept like as a whole. I like the idea of how it is very much about the like the importance of journalism in like war zones especially. And yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try and make the effort so that maybe next stream, if no one else is gonna watch it, I can be the guy to give like my opinions on Civil War.
Yeah, you can give your rundown. But so like nothing like recent that you've watched then.
Has anyone else seen the Joker?
I still need to see the first one. I know that the second trailer's come out and people are like really hyping it up.
Yeah, it
I,
looks really good.
I want to rewatch the first one just because, like, I think it'll be better for me to do that before watching the second one. But I
Hmm.
haven't really got the time to go through it. I have seen the first one though, and yeah, I'll recommend it in a heartbeat. It's like I'm surprised of how good it is. Like you'd expect it to be some sort of crappy reboot or remake or whatever, um, but no. Like so
Yeah,
many
it's
notable scenes. You've got the Joker going down the stairs. You've got the train scene, and then you've got the scene where he's in the talk show.
yeah,
That's really good.
Yeah.
it's
I need to see it, but like I don't know, it's like it just never really appealed to me personally. Just the idea of it.
yeah. I mean, it's fair. It's not really like a it's not really like a typical comic book movie. That's the thing. It's very much like a
I mean, that doesn't bother me. The fact that it's different. It's just that like the way that it is different is just a bit just doesn't appeal to me like specifically.
yeah, yeah. Like it's a very different interpretation that's like not really it's not really like everyone's kind of movie, but it's really good and like I would at least recommend to everyone to like give it a try.
I mean, we'll check it out eventually. It's just nothing has really like given me a reason to. Um,
And the new one's meant to be a musical as well.
yeah, and
Yeah, I was confused by that because obviously like he dances around in the first film, but it being a musical, I'm kind of excited for it, and I'm not really one to really like musicals. I
Nah.
it's not something I genuinely agree with. It's like once in a blue moon, I will actually like watching a musical, and the only one I could really like was Hamilton. But that's because
Yeah.
Hamilton was really, really good. Like for someone who hates musicals,
Mm.
I really, really like it.
I I never actually watched Hamilton, but my little sister was like really into it at the time that it came out. So I feel like I pretty much know every song at this point just from how much I heard them in the house. But
yeah, I'm
but I still didn't watch it for myself. Oh yeah.
I was just gonna say that like I don't mind musicals. Like I like a lot of the classic Disney films,
Hmm.
and like they're basically or I'm not classic. I mean like the Renaissance era.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, funnily enough, my favorite Disney movie is Treasure Planet, and that's not a musical.
Yeah, funny enough.
That should have gotten more success. I feel like Treasure Planet was so underrated, and then
I
it
feel
had
like
a
Disney
TV
set it
show.
up to fail.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, but it was so
it's like
good though.
Atlantis as well.
yeah,
Oh,
Atlantis was classic. Like,
Treasure Planet was like leagues better than Atlantis, but like still like Atlantis should have like at least been like broken even.
hmm,
I'm surprised it didn't. It's not something you would expect from Disney, like
It was just a poor
that they have
advertising.
films that actually fail.
It's just the poor. It had like poor advertising. That's like the reason for like both of them.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to like stuff that's coming out, is I can't remember if you guys have seen this. 'Cause I'm sure we talked about this in person before, or at least me and Zeb have when we were at work. But do you 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 guys have watched Arcane, right?
Oh,
I've only
yeah.
like seen clips, and to be honest, like I couldn't get into it. I'm
Really?
not really into League of Legends either, so
Like
So I was really into it. But I will say I only watched like half of it.
really? Both of you
Yeah.
haven't seen the whole thing.
Yeah, so it was funny. I think I was like really busy with other things at the time that like I started watching it. So like I literally like binged half the series and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so good." And I can't remember what happened, but I just didn't like finish it. I've seen as well like clips of the rest of it, but
No, I feel like you have to like watch the rest of it because it's only 9 episodes.
yeah.
No, but like
I'll
I just got the urge to talk about it. But I guess I can't really do that if no one else has seen it.
sorry about that.
That's no problem.
I'll quickly just check. It's still on my it's still on my Netflix list. I'll make sure. Maybe I'll make it my goal just to like binge through it
That's
these next couple
no, it's
days.
like I'd definitely like make the argument that it's probably the best piece of TV like in the last 20 years, easy.
I think it's probably the best video game adaptation, but
Oh,
that's coming
that's
from someone who like I couldn't give less of a shit about League, but Arcane just really was.
I mean like
Arcane really was all that. Like,
the fact that it's connected to League, like you don't have you obviously you don't have to watch sorry, you don't have to have played League of Legends. There is some stuff that like knowing about stuff about the game like has a different experience.
hmm,
However, like you really don't need it. It's just, and I think it's like arguable. You could make the argument it's probably one of the best TV shows ever made. Like, unironically,
hmm.
so sort of like with how Five Nights at Freddy's, you didn't really need to play the games, but
you know, except in this case, like the product is good.
yeah.
No, but like you guys seen The Last Wish?
The last,
Yeah. Puss in Boots.
Yeah,
yep, I'm surprised to say that after so long, because when was the first Puss in Boots?
2011.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I didn't even expect it to be good. I, but then again, I'm surprised. I'm always surprised.
I thought it would be decent. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was.
Like I only checked it out because of like people talking about how great it was, and like the reason I bring it up is because like obviously like most pieces of animation that have come out of like basically nowhere, we were no one expecting them to like be impactful in any way, but both as like respectively. I think you could easily make the argument that Puss in Boots: Last Wish is probably the best movie in the last 10 years.
Ooh, that's very because the thing is there are a lot of really good movies, but Puss in Boots, yeah, it
I mean,
was
like
really good.
I would be happy to debate someone on this, but like I think unironically that I could make the argument like since
Hmm.
2014, I think it's pretty easy to say. Like, can you guys think of any like movie that is like have you like a masterpiece? What was the last like masterpiece that you guys are aware of?
Drive,
Dune.
What?
Drive.
I I
Dune.
I haven't
Drive
seen
was
it.
before Puss in Boots, right?
I would assume so.
2011, 2011.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's like that's in the last
Okay.
10 years. I mean,
Last 10 years. I'm trying to think actually, because I would definitely say Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse,
Mhm.
I
and
wouldn't. Like, it's a good movie, but like, I think Puss in Boots is way better.
I would say Dune parts 1 and 2. I would say The Boy and the Heron. Um I don't know, there's a lot of good movies. That's the problem. I find it hard to just like rank movies as like necessarily better or worse than one another because
they,
um
they all have their like they're all good, especially like when you have to go into different genres. Like all of them are good specifically for their genre, right? Like I was about to say Jojo Rabbit as well. I think Jojo Rabbit's a really really good film.
yeah, I've still not watched it actually.
Oh, it's
Um
good.
Neither
It's
have I.
like you got funny moments, you got really sad moments, and like you really feel like you're watching a a kid through Nazi Germany. You know, it it kind of hurts to watch as well if you've actually seen it, because all this stuff is wrong, but he's getting indoctrinated and stuff, and then you finally realize it's what the hell's going on? I think as well because of the actors in it make it so much more
mhm.
better. You're watching a British guy like being part of the SS. I think
Yeah,
his name was
it's
Peter
got like
West.
Taika Waititi as Hitler and
Yeah,
like
yeah. And the thing is, it's Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi. He has a certain feel about him. Like yeah, he is playing as Hitler, but he's really good for the role. If that makes sense. It's like
Hmm.
when he was in What We Do in the Shadows. Oh my god, that was really really good. I still actually no. When was What We Do in the Shadows? That's
Oh,
2014. Yeah, okay,
yeah,
2014 film. I would count that as a really good film as well.
yeah. I don't think I've watched the movie. I've just seen clips of like
The series.
the series with Matt Berry.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, I've
I
kind of
I
been
would say
like
those two really good.
I've kind of been like put against Taika Waititi. Like I just don't. I just can't like see him. I guess like the same way as a director after Thor 4.
I think he's he's I still think he's a good director, but he like four was kind of, yeah, it was trash. There's like no way around that. But
I mean, like it's purely like based on the fact that he didn't care,
yeah,
and like, I don't know. It's just like I like that's his most recent film, Thor 4. I'm pretty sure.
yeah. I mean, I feel like, I don't know if this is controversial at all or whatever. I feel like with Thor 4,
Oh
there was
wait,
elements of
Love and
where,
Thunder, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
I feel like there were elements of where like there could have been a good film in there that was just probably kind of completely lost in the development process. Like what's his face? Patrick Bateman, Christian Bale.
yeah.
Like having Christian Bale as like the baddie. I bet there was probably in fact, apparently there was like so much just cut content of him just freaking out on set and stuff. He does I don't know if anyone else listens to Aphex Twin.
Afraid not.
Um
I've only heard of a bit of this music, and that's years ago.
But there's an Aphex Twin song called "Come to Daddy," and the music video, I don't really want to explain the music video. I think you just need to watch it. But there's this one bit in the music video where like there's this creature screaming at an old lady, and you'll probably like understand the link when you actually like see it. But there's apparently like apparently Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher. Like apparently he did that
Wait.
in like a
Is
deleted
is
scene.
that the song that goes, "I want your soul"?
Yeah.
I know that song.
Yeah.
Stupid. Not like that is a crap song. I'll be honest with you. I did not like it.
I just find it goofy. It's like, like there's just there's like those songs where they're just kind of like guilty pleasures for me.
Mm.
That I can understand. I've not seen Thor: Love and Thunder because I think for me it's like again I'm stuck in this cycle where people keep on telling me to see Thor Ragnarok and then Love and Thunder and then all these other films that make sense for other films later on, right? But I
Hmm.
mean, from what I remember, like I personally think one of his weakest films was actually Free Guy, which is yeah, I didn't really like Free Guy as much as some other people did, but stuff
Ooh.
like Hunt for the Wilder People, I think it's called. It's like a about a kid who runs away from home, and then he meets this like really old man, and the police like basically this one policewoman is in a chase for this kid, and it's really funny. And then What We Do in the Shadows and Jojo Rabbit, those were like my top three films for him.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just can't really say. I think like obviously like most, I was introduced with him through Thor 3, but like I just not really too bothered about Taika Waititi. Like if he's like put on a project about like a IP that I care about, I just don't want him on there. If you know what I mean? It's like he's
I
Yeah.
like
mean,
all goodwill when it comes to adapting
isn't he
material.
gonna try and do Akira or something?
I hope not.
Wasn't
He was. I feel like I don't know if that's like gone into development hell at this
I'm
point.
I kind
Because
of want it to stay in hell, to be honest. I
yeah,
still
honestly,
kind of care
same.
about
There was okay. I'm gonna be honest. There was a tiny part of me that like a couple years ago was like, you know what, this could actually work, and now I'm just like, I don't really see it working. I think we should just let Akira be Akira and
it.
not like,
I mean,
not
because
touch it.
if you think about it, like, how can you really make something like that live action from the point is like, first off, Akira's bike in itself, I don't know how they're going to do that without CGI. I think personally, if they can make it without CGI, then perfect. That's
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But also, the main point of Akira was when you did see it,
Well, I mean,
and I
try and
saw it in the
save up
cinema.
spoilers because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
I said
Oh
okay.
yes.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Go.
it's fine. This is just on how the film is made. So I think this was after Ethan left Cineworld. I was still there until oh no, sorry. This was October 2020. So were you there at that
Everyone came
time?
back in August, but then we all went back into lockdown.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I was there for a brief period, and they were showing Akira again in the
Mm.
cinema. And like the main point of Akira was when you saw it, and it's like basically. Oh, 1 second. You might not hear it, but I do. There you go. Just some people mowing their lawns. Nothing wrong with that. But where was I? Yeah. So when you saw it, it was an animated film that was not like other animated films. Every single thing moved in every single frame,
Yeah,
and
it's such like
the
a detailed
colors and
movie.
everything is just so vibrant and so cool. Like this is a film that is like you could not believe it was animated this way, and everything was done hand painted, cell shaded. They had to create a new red for Akira, like new colors that weren't even made yet.
Mm.
They had to make it for the film, and that's like one of the main things when you see Akira. Like you're gonna see how good it's animated and feel like this is one of the
I've
best
seen, I've seen
animated
like
films
some of
ever.
the famous clips, and it is extremely like
Oh,
Yeah,
well
it's
animated.
even to this day, I think it's still one of the best looking movies ever
it's
made.
like one of the best looking films, and it's from an era where you didn't really get that. It's like you know, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I personally think
Mm.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit is one of the best films ever in terms of live action and animation. The way it does it so perfectly, it's because you had a director, which was Richard Williams, I think his name is. He understood exactly what to do in terms of not only drawing in 24 frames, so drawing in perspective, drawing in scale, because stuff like that is very, very difficult to do, especially with live action.
Yeah. I was thinking
In
like that, or like even Space Jam. I feel like Space Jam really just holds up in like blending
I
animated
think
characters with
Well, I mean, like
true.
I don't think it's on the same level as Roger Rabbit.
not the
No,
same level, yeah, but
I think stuff like Looney Tunes Back in Action and like Space Jam do hold up as well. But Who Framed Roger Rabbit, it
it's
was
just
way
like
before, and it was all done hand drawn. I think that's one
mm,
of the main things I go point out. When it's done hand drawn, I'm not saying it's going to be automatically better, but they had to really, really focus and
Well, I mean,
make sure that everything that
Space
was
Space Jam
drawn.
and Back in Action were like 96 and 03, so that they were still being hand drawn.
Yeah, but then it makes you think, how did it look better back then than it did in 96 and '03? But then again, that could just
Well,
be
like
due to
with
how
like
the
Space
anime
Jam
works.
2, at least everything that was done in like the cartoon style before they put everything in CG, that's all digital. Whereas before, like 2003 was like the last like hurrah. There's like it was just
yeah.
before digital side taken off. So back then it was still done on cell animation.
Ah, fair point. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you can obviously like tell with the new Space Jam and the old Space Jam, one was cell, the other one was digital.
In fact, that's actually why I think it's so cool that because with the Oscars, the Boy and the Heron won this year, and I think
Yeah.
that's like the first entirely hand drawn like animated movie that's won in
Was it
years. I
was
want
it
to
best
say
was it best picture?
it was not best picture, but it was best animated.
Um, well, I guess it's been like a while because like Ghibli hasn't put out too many animated movies, and like the West hasn't put out a animated movie in theaters um
Hmm.
since 2009 with Princess and the Frog. But then again, like the Bob's Burgers movie was in theaters, but like it wasn't really a contender.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like not on the same, obviously not the same level as like any like 2D Disney
I
film.
keep I feel like I keep hearing that the Bob's Burgers movie was actually decent,
I mean, I
but
wouldn't be surprised. Like Bob's Burgers, like
it was okay
it's like the most
to-
consistent 5.5 out of 10. Like it's just
like
there.
personally, I do think the show's better, but then again, the show had time to grow and make all these characters and stuff.
And I feel like Bob's Burgers is very inoffensive to me. It was like it's just there.
Yeah.
but it's pretty good. It's an okay show. Like it's just a good show. It's like the same way how I react to Bluey, except well, Bluey in itself is like on a whole other whole other level. But yeah, in terms of Akira though, yeah, that's why like I was kind of shocked for it to be live action, like to finally be live action. But I just
Mm,
don't think it will ever come up to the same level unless they do something that just makes it look good. I think personally, like maybe even rotoscoping it, it wouldn't be on the same level as the original.
I mean, like when it comes to like anime adaptations, there's only like two good ones, and there's only one that's better than the original source material. It's
ooh, what
like
are those?
well, One Piece was good, but it's not as good as the original source
Oh
material.
yeah.
It's like if the One Piece live action pacing, if that same pacing was done for um like post time skip arcs, then it would be better because that's like the big flaw with those. However,
Mm,
early One Piece doesn't have that issue. So like having such a fast paced season takes away a lot because like so much was removed.
mm.
So that's why it's like not better. That's why I like the new anime by Wit, where it's gonna be like One Piece Kai. Is
Yeah, yeah.
it might be the definitive version.
I feel like because I'm not really bothered to like get fully into One Piece at this point, just because of how long it is. I'll probably watch the new series when it comes out.
Yeah, I guess I kind of feel the same way in that
I
form
do
too.
want
Like
to at some point, but I need to like have time to do it.
yeah, I feel the same way about the new Urusei Yatsura because like
Mm,
the original's a classic, but like there's just so much and like the pacing is just way slower and like the new one's just like I guess like objectively better in like almost every way.
yeah, I've seen like clips of the new one. I really actually need to
I really
watch it
like the
in
art
full
style.
because yeah, it looks really good. It looks like really faithful to the original, but
I know,
also
like
like
yeah,
really
it's like
modern.
probably like that's what the Japanese are fucking know how to do. They fucking know how to do like fucking like faithful stuff.
Yeah.
No, but
I just oh, apparently it's on Prime actually.
yeah, it's like all right. I don't even my like biggest issue is like it's a bit repetitive, but like that's what it was originally intended as like
Yeah.
episodic stuff. Whereas like I feel like it could have been better if they added like more like serialized storytelling. But I guess
I'll
that
I'll
defeats the point.
I'll watch the new one if it gets a British dub.
Yeah, you've seen that as well.
Yeah.
Wait,
I,
what has a British dub?
I
Or
think
like
Urusei Yatsura, it's like the first harem anime.
oh yeah, no, I've seen the British dub of the old one. You
Yeah,
know what? I'm
episode
surprised.
one
Like
was dubbed in dubbed with by the BBC.
Yeah, it's funny actually. My favorite like English dubs of any like Japanese properties, unironically, are the Urusei Yatsura British dub and Xenoblade Chronicles. And I don't know what it is. I just feel like the British just do it better.
Well,
And I
yeah,
don't know if it's just because the lines come out more naturally or something, but
it's because
I
like British and Japanese humor is like extremely similar
true,
yeah.
like
because everything's
our
like very
humor is
like
like
dry and like deadpan.
yeah. Or there's a lot of tragedy, tragic humor or tragedy. In the humor itself or in the situation. Like for example, Yurusei Yatsura, if you really think about it, like somebody had to think this up and really go, yeah, that'll work. Because how can you tell a board filled with members of the board, right? Yeah, we're gonna make an anime. It's gonna be about a guy who saves his planet from an alien, but he has to marry the alien because he accidentally said, "I'll marry you" or something. Like,
Well, that's the thing
it's really hard to sell, but it
with
worked.
with mangas. Like they fucking throw out like everything, and then like it's like pure meritocracy. It's like if your manga isn't like getting readers by like the fucking like sixth chapter, then you're gonna get cancelled.
No, I'm just surprised that it just worked out because when I was watching it, I was like thinking, why was this so popular? And then throughout the first episode, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm starting to like this show, and I think as well in the British dub, Lum's voice actor is so funny. she sounds she sounds like happy then annoyed in like one go, or like from happy to annoyed.
like I don't think I've ever watched a show where like everyone has such a thick British accent in different ways that is still
Yeah.
comprehensible. No, but
Maybe they just like I think they just really like knew what the show was going for and they didn't want to mess up on it because I know some dubs they just mess up the voice entirely. I can understand why people hate dubs,
I
but
mean like the problem
Mm.
when I have to like bring a dub up, I either mention Urusei Yatsura's British dub if they want something comedic or Black Lagoon because Black Lagoon in itself is like if you've seen it dubbed, it's genuinely better than subbed and
Yeah, I
Space
feel
Dandy
like
has a really good dub.
oh
in
Space
fact,
Dandy
in
as well.
fact, not just
Yeah,
Space Dandy, but just any like Shinichiro Watanabe like anime, like Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo.
yeah. Oh my God,
They just
Samurai
have
Champloo.
such good dubs.
And like
No, because it like they just sound really cool and chill. Like especially with Cowboy Bebop and Champloo, especially they just sound like really cool, chilled characters until shit hits the fan, and then you
Yeah.
know, um, but yeah, the Black Lagoon as well. I think Black Lagoon especially because the main cast of characters they're all from different parts of the world as well, so it kind
Mhm.
of does make sense for them to look like sound really really different. Especially like side characters and stuff, they all have different accents and everything, so they really knew what they were going on about because everyone's a bunch of criminals and stuff like that.
yeah, like the only problem with the Urusei Yatsura dub is they only dubbed the first episode.
Yeah.
It's like imagine if that was like a fucking like staple. Imagine if it went for, like the entire 200 episode run. Like how much legacy that would have.
That would have actually been mad. I mean, I would have watched it.
Yeah,
I
imagine
would
I
have
also
watched
I
imagine
personally think it would have been super popular
yeah,
in the UK if they done the entire thing.
yeah. Imagine also universe where like the majority of dubs for anime was done in Britain.
Uh, you know what's the funniest part as well? In Urusei Yatsura, the main guy Ataru in the British dub is voiced by Matt Lucas.
Yeah.
That guy of all people,
I
voicing a kid.
Voicing
And
a fucking like anime teenager.
yeah, it's like the person who voices Naruto is a woman, right? And she was on like a Lab Rats, like a Disney show. So when I
Mm.
started hearing her voice as the principal, I'm like, she sounds so familiar. And then like I pick up on it, I'm like, no way is she Naruto, man. Like this is basically, and she doesn't change her voice either. That is just Naruto. So you got Naruto running around as a principal. That's just funny to me. Um,
I feel like oh yeah.
so, I was just gonna say like a bit of a hot take. I think like most mid 2000s shonen anime have really good dubs. Ironically, I think the big three. I think they all have pretty good dubs.
Mm.
Ironically, is I think One Piece is the best one out of the three. But like there's like so many smaller like shonen like Law of Reki or Kenichi, which have pretty good dubs in my opinion.
I feel like they were kind of they weren't really overdoing the voices then as much as they do now. Like I feel like when I watch something dubbed now, I'm always just kind of like there's a part of me that's a bit like I feel like the voice just sounds too anime. If that makes sense. Like that sounds weird on paper, but it's just like
It's like the heart's not in it. It's like back in the mid 2000s, like even if they were saying, even if like the script was cringe, they were putting it all into it, just like the Japanese voice actors do. Whereas now
mm,
it's just very sanitized.
it's
like
like
generic.
So
Yeah.
I think Food Wars is one of the worst dubs I've heard. I only like saw like the first episode, but like I think it's so bad.
I think one of the best anti-dubs, though, if I'd want to call it, is Ghost Stories.
stories.
Ghost Stories is so funny, man. Like,
Oh,
and,
literally,
and the
yeah.
thing is, the dub just changed all of the script, and I think that's one thing I like about dubs. Obviously, they do have to change the script depending on how to make it sound a little bit better.
I mean,
But they just went off the wall and
I'm gonna
decided to
like
do.
disagree with that though. Like I think like stuff doesn't have to change. I think I think again with the Urusei Yatsura dub, I'm pretty sure every joke was exactly the same, but like translate and like because like a lot of stuff is changed for like a northeast south the Western American like audience, whereas with like like because of how like similar the British and Japanese humor is, they just like they just did it raw. That makes
Mm.
sense. It's like
And it just works.
like even if it only works in Japanese, I'd rather have like a faithful transcript rather than like change it because so I want to like even if I don't understand it, it's like I want to like to hear like the Japanese humor, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So,
you don't want like a four kids situation, basically.
and I
You
guess
want
like
like,
Oh,
so
oh,
I'm a fan of translators notes.
hmm. I mean,
translators
same
notes.
actually.
Well, it's like if like there's very like specific context of like if there's like a pun in Japanese, but the subs obviously can't communicate that, they just say exactly what they're saying, but the translators note in Japanese, this means this, that's why it's funny, or something.
I'm gonna be a little bit annoying. Do you mind if I just nip to the toilet real quick?
Go on.
No, we'll wait.
All right, I'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but like, do you get what I'm saying? But
No, no, I finally get what you mean by that actually now because no, when you were talking about translators notes, I was thinking like yeah, I was thinking basically, oh, is it something like really specific in context to what they're actually talking about, and they don't want that to change because um he mentioned four kids, and this is one thing I really hate. This happened in like Pokemon and I think Yu-Gi-Oh and other shows
localization, yeah.
around that time. They would just take out Japanese stuff because they thought it wouldn't make sense, but it kind of it kind of sounded a lot more stupider. So uh, there was a point where like Brock from one episode he says jelly donuts,
Yep,
but they're
yep.
not jelly donuts. They're onigiri. They don't even look like donuts. But well,
Yeah. I just feel like changing. It's like if the joke is in Japanese is like one thing, but then they change the joke. They basically make an original joke in like the American dub. I don't like that. I'd rather have like the joke be translated properly. And like some people are gonna be confused, but like I'm fine with that.
yeah, because well, if it's going to be dubbed anyway and like translated, why change something that they're intending for the viewer to see? There is one thing I would understand though if they needed to change it, mainly because it really depends on how you feel about it. But fan service kind of stuff, I don't know. I'm on two minds about it. If it actually matters to the plot, then yeah, sure. But there's so much weird fan service thing going on, and like such as like just straight up like lewd content and you're just trying to watch a show for a completely different reason. When
Well,
one
I
of the
mean,
scenes where you
what are you suggesting? Like, in like the American version, they just like censor all of it or cut it all out.
see, that's the thing. I don't want them to censor it because censorship has happened in these shows. Like, I think it was Sonic X or something. No, was it Sonic? Yeah, it was probably Sonic X. And like in the Japanese like original, somebody actually dies in one episode, but in the in the four kids like censored one, they just fly away and they you never hear from them again.
I mean, that's
And
the
like
same as Yu-Gi-Oh because instead of because in the original they actually died, but in the uh
yeah,
four kids it was
the
the
Shadow
Shadow
Realm.
Realm. That's a completely original
It,
Uh,
concept.
like the
oh,
Shadow
I'm back. Did I
Realm
miss
thing is
anything?
actually really funny to me. I'm glad that, that's the type of censorship that I can personally understand because it's not like it's allowing the viewer to really think about it and go, okay, they know they call it the Shadow Realm, but we know what it actually is because we're not dumb. But the other one is just straight up, oh, we'll meet again someday. No, you won't. That person was dead. That person died. You are not going to meet them again someday. But
Yeah,
you make them fly away.
but we just talking about like censorship and stuff because um but, my I guess my problem with like I guess the censorship of or the removal like fan service in American shows is like if like you're bothered about fan service in a show, then just don't fucking watch it. It's like if I don't want like the American localizers to make the determination on what's okay or not. It should just be translated as is, and if people don't like it, they don't have to watch it.
Oh yeah, I kind of think that for like the sake of
Authenticity.
like preserving art in it. I think that like um I believe in sort of localization in the sense of um like in the sense of sort of like for instance like jokes that land in Japanese obviously need to be like like I completely agree with like translated notes and stuff, but like things that land in like the Japanese dub obviously may not land if they're just directly translated in but I think that you don't want to go too far the other end where it's just you're like changing a piece of art to match completely different sensibilities, which I can understand. Like some stuff is just like a bit sus and everything, but I'm kind of of the opinion that I want to like experience something as the author
Intended.
intended it.
Yeah, like that's like my position. That's why like I think I am. I guess like I hold a position where like translate it as faithful as possible. If people are gonna get confused, then that's fine. It's like imagine if there was like a British show and then they wanted to bring it over to America, but they dubbed over like every reference to like I don't know fucking like what's a good example like
I'm thinking of like
every time they reference like every time there was like a fucking stabbing, it was replay. People talked about it as if it was as if it was a shooting.
yeah. I'm thinking like right now of
It's
I
just
don't know
like
if
if
it's
I
like
like British humor was translated to be like just like something a lot more like
yeah.
overt and crude.
It's like they did the American In-Betweeners and it just didn't
Oh,
land at all.
Well, that was
ew.
like a remake. I'm talking about like it's a bit difficult to talk about if it
Yeah,
was because
because
we
there
speak the
isn't.
same language, obviously. But
Yeah,
Well, technically, I guess that's what the remakes are. Then I wouldn't call them dubs, but that's what they technically were. They
yeah,
basically took something, made it worse, and yeah, left it to rot in a fire.
yeah. I mean, like The Office really worked, but like I feel like The Office was like kind of the exception rather than the rule.
I mean, they're two completely different shows. It's not
Yeah,
even comparable.
basically.
They just have to. It's just the same name.
Yeah, but the thing is, it has to be two different shows because it's pandering to like um different audiences, right? That's how it is. But speaking
Yeah.
of which, in like terms of dubbing, so we were talking about fan service scenes as well. What's your take on it? Because sometimes like they make it so it's for the plot, and then you got other fan service scenes that are just there that are not.
Yeah, I have no problem with fan service unless I feel like it's too distracting. Like I think it can just be there where it's say if you're like watching something that's like really that's like say you're watching like something that's quite dark and serious or like it takes itself quite seriously and then there is just like random fan service thrown in, I would find it a bit distracting. If something's a bit more like goofy or whatever, then I'm just kind of like I can deal with that. I feel like I don't know. I feel like fan service. I feel like it's kind of welcome as long as it's not distracting for
Like
me.
my point that I was trying to get across was like it like if it does do that, then that's like a flaw of the show. But like
Yeah,
if you're gonna like be dubbing a show, I think it's extremely arrogant to quote unquote try and fix the stuff in the dub. It's like imagine if there was like a show and then there was like this massive plot hole in the original that wasn't addressed, and then in the dub they like talk about it and they like try and like fix it. It's like I understand. Well, no, I don't even understand. It's like something. It is been changed from its original like format when it's like because obviously what they could have done if there was like a plot hole in the original, they could have like made it worse by addressing it. I guess
mm,
like you can't just like have a show and whatever flaws it has, you try and fix them when it's being translated. I feel that's like really bad.
yeah. Nah, I agree. Honestly, I'm
It's like
I'm kind of inclined to agree. I think that like
yeah, if like a show has like really shitty fan service, obviously the first thing that comes up to everyone's mind is fucking Fire Force. But like,
mm,
it just feels really weird to like when like bringing it over, change it if you know what I mean.
yeah. I can't remember if we said this in the past, but my kind of my stance as a whole on like fan service is that the gold standard of fan service is if a show manages to like have because I'm kind of like I'm definitely not like anti fan service, but I'm pro like male and female fan service. Like I think we mentioned when we were talking about I think when we were talking about like Fantastic Four and
Just get Alba.
like the Invisible Woman, but then also like the Human Torch, basically.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just gonna across like I don't care if the like as a show has like fan service or not. But like, it's all about like
It's just
I guess
respecting someone else's vision and someone else's piece of art and like adapting it
yeah, if like
as
someone if so,
faithfully
like
to
if
that
it's
as
in the
possible.
original world, just keep it. Just
Yeah,
like I don't want a new version. Just give me exactly what it is, and it's up for me to decide whether or not it's good or bad.
yeah.
Don't tell me what's good or bad about it. That's like a big controversy recently, where like you guys have heard of Shadow Apocalypse?
Oh yeah,
He was the
I
guy.
think I
He
used
was the and suddenly you're a Nazi guy.
yeah, I think I like used to watch his content when I was like 16, but
Wait. Who is he again?
Like he was his big famous thing was like like when you're playing like Call of Duty or Battlefield, and then like you don't have any choice of what team you're on, and then he's the guy who basically said you're playing a game, and then suddenly you're a Nazi.
was that him or was that
That was
another
him.
channel? I swear that was
No,
another channel,
that was
but I
actually
might be
Alex. My
wrong.
mistake.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, that's so similar. No,
I always thought that was such a weird take.
he had, yeah, but like so Jello Apocalypse, he had a really like he did a very political video, basically saying once like basically going one side right, one side like you know Satan.
Hmm.
And basically the reason I bring it up is because he was actually working. He actually got to work on a dub,
Hmm.
and and it was basically I think it was leaked or he openly talked about it, where he thought the show was originally horrible and transphobic and shit, and so he basically read as like a writer on dub, basically tried to fix everything that he saw a problem with the original.
Hmm.
But every problem that he saw didn't exist, and he got fired from the show
Yeah,
because
I
of
think I
like
read
saying about this. But the thing
I think
is,
I read
apparently,
something
like
about this,
they didn't
but
even use any of his script writing.
hmm.
But it's, just the thing about like someone like taking it upon themselves to decide that they don't like a show and they want to like change it to make it exact to what they want. So I guess it's a slippery slope argument.
Yeah.
But I just prefer like if something's bad, just like translate it faithfully, and then it's up for us to decide whether it's bad or
Yeah,
not.
and let the audience decide. I don't know if it's like maybe because it's like a uniquely um I don't know if it's like a uniquely American perspective that they kind of have to like change everything to fit their sensibilities. Because like that's why I'm thinking of shit like like 4 Kids dubs. Like that was just doing that shit back in the day. And it just results in you getting shit like God forbid, imagine like a 4 Kids Evangelion dub or something. But
How would that even work? Like they just have
it
the
just
they have the
wouldn't.
scene they have that scene in the hospital, and it's like
We
just
we
type out their hand.
they would probably just cut that entirely. I don't think there would be any way of salvaging that.
There's way too many scenes in Evangelion, man. Way too many.
Yeah, I think they would take like one look at it and they're like, yeah, we can't dub this.
Yeah, I
What do we
just feel
say? What do we do?
like being as faithful as possible is like the highest priority because
Mm,
like 9 times out of 10, the dub is like going to be objectively worse. So
yeah,
the best you can do is make it faithful because if it's not, then you have to rely on like the quality of the product, which is just going to be worse.
I mean, I always just watch it subbed anyway.
Yeah, but then
But
there's also like the the translators who write the subs can like change shit around on their own as well,
yeah, yeah,
which are more egregious probably.
yeah. I just stand by the fact that I'm just like I think we should we should make sure or I think we should just do like like I stand by the fact that we should just have faithful adaptations or faithful subs, faithful
Yeah.
dubs.
Well, apparently there are
You know.
rumors that like Japan are going to try and start dubbing in house, which I'd much
Ah,
prefer.
okay. I think that's actually really cool because then that probably means we do get like more more faithful, more because again I think if something's problematic then yeah that's a problem with the media. That doesn't have to be a problem that the translators have to go and swap around and stuff. I think that the translators job should be obviously adapting something for not necessarily a different audience, but adapting something, for like adapting a piece of media to be understood by a different audience rather than to fit a different audience. That's
Yeah,
that's the best way of putting it, I
and
think.
if that does happen, if studios start like working in house, because there's plenty of people in Japan who speak English.
Hmm.
Mm.
Um, it might be a bit weird to start out because like we might get I don't know, next big anime, and like the dub, like everyone has very thick Japanese accents, which like I think it'll be interesting to see.
I would watch it,
So
honestly.
I think it'll be
I
like
feel like I'd rather watch that than watch like something where just the main character the whole time's like, oh, I have to charge up my chi, or otherwise the
Oh my god,
yeah,
yeah.
I can't with that shit. Like that's why I hate most. Well, hate's a strong word, but I can't with most anime dubs.
yeah, the things like
Um,
because it'll be like a new industry in Japan to like dub in house, like it might be worse than what we're getting now. However, it's like I don't care because I watch sub anyway. Plus, with all of the like shit that like localizers and translators have been like doing for the last I guess like 5-10 years, like they brought this upon themselves. Like no one has any sympathy for them for like all like the nonsense that they've been trying to do.
have you ever seen the dub for the original Devilman?
I've seen clips.
Yeah, because I feel like that shit's chaotic as hell, and honestly, I would kind of just respect it if dubs just went to being like that. Like literally, I'm pretty sure the vibe of that is just if like the vibe it gives me is like, what if we just got together just around like a table or something? We just picked up a microphone and we're like, we're gonna make an anime dub. Like literally, they just sound like normal people talking half the time.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a point
I,
I wanted to make like
I
a
wouldn't
while
mind an anime
back.
just like that, where it's just normal people talking all the time. Hmm.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I had a point I wanted to make like earlier that one of just my favorite like this isn't like a like a localization or anything, but just one of my favorite like dubs of any animated anything is the film Surf's Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely I think I watched Surf's Up like I want to say recently, but it was like a year or so ago. And I remember watching it and thinking the characters just sound so genuine. Like like they're a bunch of talking penguins, but they just talk like they're just actual people.
No, I get
And
yeah, I get what you're
it
saying now.
yeah,
It took me a
and
second to clock it.
it made it feel just so much more real. And I was kind of just like I know that with dubs and stuff they have to like match lip flaps and everything, but I'm just kind of like I almost wish like there were just more dubs like that.
Well, a lot of Aardman stuff does that as well. Like Wallace and Gromit in the first Chicken Run, I feel like that kind of like natural way of speaking is a quite
Yeah.
common.
Speaking of which, you mentioned like penguins speaking naturally, and for some reason I thought of Pingu as well. And I'm thinking us British people really like penguins when they speak, don't they?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, penguins are cool.
Yeah. I think it like surfs up. It makes you even emotional as well. Like, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm starting to like this because one show that comes into mind when I'm talking about voice acting is Smiling Friends. I'm
Yes,
just
the
Oh,
season
yeah.
has. Have you guys seen the newest episodes?
no,
I've not seen the
I haven't seen
I've not seen
season.
the newest episode. I've seen the trailer. I've seen the
You don't know
trailer
about
for it.
Gwimbly?
I know about Gwimbly. I've seen Gwimbly. I've just not seen the actual full episode yet.
Like, I'm so happy that this got a second season because I was dying for it. Like, it's such a good show,
Yeah,
and
season
it's
one
like,
was just like so good, and
and it's like
Yeah, I think
finally.
episode 1 from season 1, I think is the weakest episode. To be fair,
But then again,
which
kind
one's
of
that again? Is that Mr. Frog or is
no
that? Oh no,
Desmond.
that's the Desmond. Yeah.
yeah,
I,
but that is like setting everything up. To be honest, I personally think like all episodes were really good, and one of my favorites is definitely the Renaissance Men. I don't know what it is, but I think it's just really really funny how they argue at the end,
yeah, the frowning
and it's like
friends.
they're not really arguing. They're going over the fact that they miscommunicated with each other, and Pim doesn't realize that he kind of thought that Charlie knew everything, but Yeah, it's a weird show to describe because finally it's a show that's like it's an adult animated comedy, but the comedy isn't derived from using swear words or like sexual innuendo or anything. This is just like a purely comedic show, and
Yeah,
the
and it's
voice
like
acting works so well. It's just because you're just hearing like a bunch of friends talk to each other,
Yeah, it's
and
yeah,
like normal. It's like the way I've heard it be described is you have like cartoons talking talking or reacting to outlandish scenarios like normal people.
yeah,
That's
and
where the
it
comedy
just
comes from.
it 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 feels just like it feels it's like it can be oddly wholesome at times. It can be dark and like the dark comedy is just so good.
right.
The just all that different animation styles, they just like meld together, so it just kind of works.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
it
yeah,
doesn't even look the same each time. Each time, which I really like. Like every single character looks different as well.
Yeah, like they're
In
always
like
drawn
really good
like
ways.
yeah,
Like
like
one
everyone's
thing I
already
like
like
the boss. Like he looks
yeah.
so disgusting, but he's actually one of the nicest people in the show. So until he started waving around an AK, but that's different. That's valid. But one thing I was talking about with my friend recently actually is how do you describe Zach Hadel's character Charlie? Like how do you describe his voice? And the thing is, I can't even describe his voice, but it's really really good. The only thing I can say is, you know, the guy that said, "Lyle, they hit the Pentagon. They hit the fucking, they hit
yeah.
the fucking Pentagon." Lyle, like, it's just one of the best lines ever, and that's the only way I can describe it because I can't describe anything else other than this is the guy that made the Wingardium Leviosa thing from years ago, you know. Um, but yeah, Zach Hador is like really really funny, man, and
Oh, extremely, yeah. And
yeah,
fucking Michael Cusack as well. I feel like they just like play off each other just so well. And I think the fact that they're like both internet like animators
yeah,
being
and then they
given like a big sort of like, you know, like
I
TV
think
show.
I think they started on Newgrounds as well, and one really
Yeah.
cool thing, if you never noticed, the one with the Pym's family when Desmond takes gets taken to Pym's family for dinner, the buff bodybuilder person that's like vomiting, that's apparently Tom Fulp who
Yeah, the
created Newgrounds.
creator.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like
There's so many
they're really
cameos
showing.
like Chilled gets a cameo in the shrimp episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, Gilbert, I'm so glad that's one of his
Like
final
final roles. Yeah.
roles because that guy really, you know, his voice was really really good. I think
His voice is
and,
iconic, I think.
like it's a good send off. I don't know if that like was
His last role.
kind of like
I don't.
fake,
Yeah, I'm not
but
sure.
I
um.
I personally liked it. I think Satan's voice actor as well is just really funny. Like I mean, to be honest, if you're going to be like in hell for eternity, having to deal with all the punishments and stuff, yeah, I feel for Satan. He probably feels like so bored at his job, but he can't do anything about it. He's stuck there for eternity.
He's
But
just
one
like
of my favorite
so
parts of
dumb.
an episode is like Finn Wolfhard as well. He cameos as that guy
Oh, the guy on
inside the house.
the
So
yeah.
Wait, Finn
he
Wolfhard's in it.
like yeah, he's in it. He's like a person inside the walls of their office. So they go
Wait,
one of the goes
are you
into
sure
the
it's Finn
wall.
Wolfhard? Because like he
It
did
is.
Stranger
It's
Things.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
him.
He's I'll post just a picture in the chat real quick.
Yeah.
He's this guy.
So
Yeah, I know the guy you're
the
talking about. Um.
the context
Oh no,
is
this is the guy he
in the
plays,
walls.
I mean. Yeah.
He's living in the walls. When the character goes like is obviously awkward by it, but he's looking for something. And like Finn Wolfhard's character, yeah, maybe you should leave. Like he's so entitled to just living in the wall, and it's so funny because you don't even see this character later. It's like a one-off character, and yet it's like he's living in the walls, and he's so entitled that he actually gets offended when somebody comes in on his space that he doesn't own. And like I was thinking to myself, like they got a character, they got an actor just for this one line. Like it goes to show that they're really pushing forward.
Yeah.
I think one of the rumors though is Chris Chan was meant to be the grease
The
puddle.
grease
Yeah.
puddle, yeah.
Yeah, I really wish that happened, but the thing is, I know for a fact Chris would not be able to handle it. That's probably too hard a role.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, I think it wasn't even like the incident that was like the inciting the inciting reason for getting rid of like the Chris Chan cameo as well. I think it was something else, but then obviously that happened after.
Was it due to because he was in jail at the time, or
Yeah, for like
Yeah,
demonetizable reasons.
demonetizable exactly.
Yeah, but
um,
yeah, but like Harry Potter tried to cameos 3D Squelton, I believe.
oh my
there's
god,
like I forget like all the cameos because there's so many.
3D Skeleton was so funny to me, man. It's just so out of left field. I think that's why I like it so much. It reminds me of like you know, on YouTube when YouTube is when they review games or something, sort of like JonTron. Like JonTron's really good. Kadikarus, which I'd like to call
hmm,
like the best British one out there. They do like such left field like skits and humor. You can't help but think to yourself like how it ties in, and then you're just suddenly laughing your ass off. It it was really funny to me just how 3D Skeleton is there just crying, and I can't do anything but laugh. I can't even feel sorry for him.
Yeah, but like I think season one of episode one of season two is the best episode so far. I think the Grimly episode is just the best one.
yeah, I'll try and watch it. I just don't know where to like find it.
Is it
It's-
actually released or?
It's I think it was leaked.
Oh, I'd rather wait until it's like actually released then, because
Honestly,
I don't really
yeah,
mind.
I don't know. I just know that I've seen it and like everyone's talking about it. So I think it might be officially released because like, everyone's talking about it with like no issue.
Hmm.
No, but like it is. I think it's like the best one. Like if I were to show someone like an episode, I think it'd be the Grimly episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to get my dad into it at the moment because
That's gonna be difficult, I think.
I try to get some of my family members into it. They just don't get it. But then again, it could just be because I tried to get my uncle into it when I went over to his place and we were watching something, and he just couldn't get like why it was the way it was. And the thing is, he's not a very much internet person anyway, so that was kind of a fail. But yeah, like people who already knew Michael Cusack from like Bushworld Adventures, they got into it very quickly because
yeah.
of the humor.
Yeah, I mean, it's just instant humor. It's just like I don't think anyone older than 30 is gonna enjoy it unless they were like pioneers on the internet.
I think if you were like sort of like if you were there, then you know,
But like
like
it was before our time, the Newgrounds stuff. So
yeah.
we
But I
saw
feel like all the Newground stuff still just very much has influence on the internet today.
uh,
It's just that it's not really
in
as
like a descendant kind of way, I suppose.
yeah.
I mean, thinking about Newgrounds, the one thing I can majorly think about was like the games I used to play as a kid. And I remember, funny enough, this was so weird to me. I was watching a speed run of Brain Age, and like it's such a weird thing to say, speed run of Brain Age, right? But the way that they do it, it's with a bot called TASBot, tool assisted
Yeah.
speedrun bot,
Yeah.
right? And they weren't putting down numbers for their answers; they were doing drawings. But one of the drawings stuck out to me, and it was everyone had to guess what the drawing was, and it suddenly dawned on me this is all Newground stuff. So I look at this, and somebody shouts out like I couldn't really hear it, but the game was called Dad and Me, and if you've ever played Dad and Me, it's such a funny ass game. It's like you're a little
I'm just gonna go AFK for one
purple
second.
monster of
I'll be back
just
shortly.
beating the shit out of other kids. It's so weird. But I went to my brother like immediately, ran up to him, and I said, "Hey, do you remember like a game? You play a little purple kid, and then he's wearing a skull with a skull mask, and you start beating up other kids." And he's like, "Yeah, Dad and Me." And this is like years into like 15 years after we played it, so it's still in our minds. And I think genuinely, from Newgrounds, we have a lot of influence that we don't really see. Like you kind of have to notice it. Like for example, Castle Crashers is definitely Newgrounds stuff, but sort of like games like that take on Castle Crashers as their formula of gameplay. You genuinely see like what they were going for,
Like,
because they're going for like fun co-op experiences or like hard as nails games like Alien Hominid. I think of Cuphead, and when I play Cuphead, I think of Alien Hominid because that is a very difficult game as a kid.
I never like went on Newgrounds. I just knew like some creators were like originally got their start on Newgrounds. But
Yeah, Zach Hadel did. I'm not sure about Michael Cusack.
Ego Raptor.
Egoraptor did definitely.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like the only reason I know of Newgrounds like is like from like Ego Raptor and Game Grumps as well as like the only plays group because I think they all started on Newgrounds. I could be wrong, but
I think maybe David Firth as well, but I don't know if it was both Newgrounds and YouTube because he did Salad Fingers, I think, and that was really funny back then.
yeah, well, I think it's yeah, I think like from that generation, the only ones that are still either around or still respected is like the guys behind Spying Friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and also I haven't heard of any like accusations against them, so
Yeah, the problem with Eager Raptor is like he kind of like pulled ladder up behind him, that kind of deal.
I mean, wasn't he more focused on just being part of the Game Grumps and everything?
Yeah, but like he still did like animations back in the day
Yeah,
before YouTube's changed. No, but what I'm trying to say is like because like he is just one of those people who like built his like legacy on like edgy shit and then like pulled ladder up behind him. Oh, that's not okay now. And there's a
yeah, I
lot of like
suppose so.
other issues with the Game Grumps that I forget the specifics, but there's been so many controversies. But, like they kind of like fallen off.
Ah.
That's
I
like
still like the Game Grumps a little bit.
I don't watch them like I don't really watch them at all anymore. But I I still think like the Mickey Mouse Capade episode is one of the funniest things I've seen in my life.
yeah, I can't think of that off the top of my head.
Oh, I'll post it in like the chat after the stream. But if you know, you know.
Yeah. But
Mm.
anything else we want to talk about?
Hmm. I don't know. I feel like we've talked about a lot of. Oh, actually, that was something. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna like bring us completely back to just like the topic of live action remakes and stuff.
Okay.
I was gonna say when we were talking about Akira, if anyone actually watched Ghost in the Shell, the live action
I haven't seen
Scarlett
either.
Johansson.
I need to watch the
Ah,
original. There's a lot of
I
classics I
think
haven't seen for some reason.
yeah. To be fair, there's a lot I haven't seen. I've only really like sort of been going through my backlog of movies lately. I did watch uh I think I mentioned this like I think I mentioned this the other day, but I did watch rewatch Starship Troopers recently. Now that like Helldivers is a whole like big thing and stuff. And I
Yeah.
forgot just how good it is. Like just as a movie, as like a satire, as like a dumb action movie. It just like ticks all of those boxes you'd want it to.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
like I'd say it's like a very bad satire because the bugs are the bad guys, and the Federation does everything right.
I mean, kind of, and also kind of not. I feel like it's complicated because the whole thing's it's meant to be a propaganda movie. So we only see from the perspective of the Federation, and from the Federation's perspective, the bugs are bad. But
Well, I mean, like the only like big like stupid blunder that the the is it the Federation or is it
I think
or
it's the
it's
Federation.
called something different, I think.
I'm gonna have to Google. I forgot already.
Um, but anyway, like the biggest like the only like massive like issue that like the fucking I'll just say Federation for brevity's sake make is when is sending in like like foot soldiers onto the bug planet like halfway through the film.
Hmm.
Like like before and after that, they're like they don't do anything like is like apparently stupid. And even that one instance, the I think Sky Commander,
Yeah.
like basically effectively the president because the military is basically in charge of like Earth, like steps down from his position
Yeah.
because of the blunder. So like accountability was taken, which is something that I feel like wouldn't exist in like the I guess the fascist hellscape that the director wanted to portray.
Yeah. I mean, accountability was taken, but just to like replace them with someone who's just gonna like push even further on the I don't know.
I mean, because like, you got to think about it like this um at the beginning of the movie he's being like there's like he's in class and his professor who later joins the war front never tells him what to think. And
Hmm.
like there are specific scenes where he talks with the professor, and and like main character is specifically told to think for himself,
Yeah.
as well as the fact that later on in the film, um, because like currently in the film there is so many like applicants to the military, there is just like because there's like no war going on, there is nothing to do, so they just find random jobs for like people to do. But it's only when the bugs throw the meteor at Buenos Aires that
Yeah.
war actually starts, and it's confirmed by the director that the bugs did send it.
Oh, okay. Because I was always like under the impression that they literally just got
Like a false flag.
yeah, they literally just like got like a false flag, and then next thing you know, they're using it as an excuse. They basically just like
Just like
fucking nuked Buenos Aires and said, "Hey, the bugs did it. Go fight."
yeah, so like the way that the film is formatted is like I don't believe there's a current war going on as the film starts. Then there's like Mormon separatists or colonists go and try and start a colony on a bug world.
Mm.
The bugs massacre the colony, which causes like some conflict, which kind of like starts a small conflict. But then when the bugs send the asteroid, the that's when like war officially begins, and that is why our main character and his group are sent off to war.
'Cause I always thought the point was like the bugs were retaliating, because we already know from like the beginning that like they're like dissecting the bugs and shit, and they're like um so I already thought that like the bugs were kind of just like an after effect of their colonization,
I mean, the
and
thing is,
the
like the
bugs
bugs
ended up
that they're sensing
retaliating against.
don't look like the arachnids,
Hmm.
so it might not even be the same species. That
Hmm.
could just be like bugs that were like on Earth or something. But like it's but the thing is the main conflict begins when like the Mormon colonists start like create a settlement on a bug world, and then the bugs like massacre everyone.
Yeah.
So you could say that the humans were like the ones who started it. However, the humans that went to that planet were not affiliated with like the global government, as well as the fact that after creating a settlement and then killing all the humans there is an overreaction on the bug's part.
Yeah.
And like it is obviously directed to be a satire, and that was why it was made, because like the original book is a lot more like it is like more not a parody of like
Yeah,
the
like the original
military
books, like
movies.
yeah.
So like director didn't like the book, or not, but he didn't even read it. He
Hmm.
had like someone tell him about it, didn't like it, and then decided to make a parody on that. However, the film that was made is a very poor satire, because the actual the way it's like directed and how it's filmed, like that's what the movie wants you to think. However, the stuff that happens in the film don't support it.
Yeah.
Like
I
you can
just
say,
think it's fun as like
no, I think it's a good
I don't know, I
movie,
just
but like when it
yeah, I
comes
think
to
it's
like
fun as like an
cinematic
action movie. I
like
like some of like
analysis,
yeah.
like it doesn't really like hold up in that kind of critique. Sorry if I was like going on too long, but
Oh yeah. I think it's fun as like an
That's
action
cool.
movie. I like some of like the sort of like underlying themes and like and the fact that it is just like the whole thing is like basically just like a big propaganda movie for like the Federation. Like you have all of the adverts between sequences where they're literally like handing out kids guns and shit, and it's
I
a
mean, gun safety is important lesson.
I mean, yeah, but
Let them learn
probably
young.
probably yeah, probably shouldn't just be handing like firearms to
I mean, they weren't loaded.
to a bunch of
Obviously, I'm just joking, but yeah,
I mean,
but yeah, I do like Starship Troopers, but it would be interesting to see if we got like maybe like an animated like faithful adaptation of the source material.
yeah.
Just like to see
I
how it
don't
would
know if
turn
there's
out.
been like I don't know if there's been like any, because I feel like there's been a lot of adaptations of Starship Troopers, but I don't think there's been anyone that's been completely faithful to the book. But I've never read the book, so I don't really know like
Yeah, but
I mean, like maybe it's probably like something I should do when I actually start reading again because I don't read a lot.
Yeah, I need to do some more reading, especially since I'm doing my own writing. So a bit of reference is always nice.
Yeah.
But either of you guys seen X-Men '97? That's like the big thing that's out currently.
I
Nah,
haven't seen the
actually.
first episode.
It's pretty good, unironically.
Yeah, I've heard really good things actually.
Yeah, like it's
Some
surprising that something from the MCU is like actually good, and it's not just like it's okay or it's not as bad. Like unironically, it's like I think it easily hits a 7 out of 10, which is like the highest score you like in the last like 5 years for the MCU.
mm, nah, I think the MCU's just been it's been through a very rough patch at the moment, and I think it's good.
Well, rough like half
But
decade to be
it's
fair.
rough half decade, yeah, at this point. But it's just like I feel like God, when you put it like that, it just made me realize it's 5 years since Endgame, and
Yeah, but like
but
the MCU has been bad for half of its existence. No, it's not half. A third, sorry.
a third, yeah, yeah. Um, but I feel like they they yeah, I think the thing with like X-Men 97 though is like it's great that it's like actually a great property. No, like a great thing, but it's not really
It won't
like
matter.
a MC yeah, it's like not an MCU like canon thing, which is great because it's its own thing and it's connected to the X-Men series that, you know, like no one hates the X-Men, like the 90s X-Men series. Like I feel like you'd be hard pressed to find someone who does.
Yeah,
But
but it's like
but I feel like
what if wasn't a part of the MCU? However, it was still bad. It's like
yeah,
because it was
yeah.
being produced by the MCU. Like this is like so what really sucks is like because the showrunner was like fired. I think because he had no OnlyFans. It's
Yeah,
still
I keep hearing like conflicting things that like he was like a dick on set or something, or not on set, but like in like the studio and stuff. But then I
like I'm
also
not sure
keep
like
hearing he had an OnlyFans, and that
I
seems
don't
kind
know
of
OnlyFans, and then so suddenly a dick on set. Okay.
yeah, but
a dick on
Maybe the
set. Nah.
OnlyFans was that good.
yeah, but the thing is like
I,
since he's gone, it's like season
I need
two
proof.
won't nearly be as good. Like I feel like
Yeah,
whatever he was doing, it was working.
I mean, unless they get like writers who are just as good and have the same vision, then it's a bit
Well,
yeah,
I
it's
mean
a bit
like
disheartening that like the next season could just all go downhill from here.
it's like even with like this show, it's like I'm not holding my breath. Like so, I kind of don't really care about the X-Men. It's
Hmm.
like so like whether the show was good or bad, it's like I didn't really care. It's really good so far. I just like I hope it sticks to the landing. But like if it starts suddenly becoming like complete dog shit, like I won't be surprised and I won't really
Hmm.
care too much. But it's like nice to have like something. But, like yeah, that's about it for like stuff that's going on like right now. Fallout
Yeah.
apparently like dropped. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I was planning on watching it this weekend actually. Maybe I'll watch it tonight, but it depends what I'm doing.
Yeah, we were
But
talking about like doing a reaction for it, but like I kind of feel like especially after the failure of my second Avatar video, I feel like it's not something I really want my channel to be. So maybe
yeah.
just watch it and talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll be down to like start watching it just like on my own. I'll be down to like start watching it. I'm off work the next couple days, so I might start watching it.
I mean, we can talk about it like next week.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be totally down for that. I might not have watched the whole show by then, but I'll at
Did
least
it
make sure to
did
watch
it all
like at
drop at
least.
once, or is it going to be a weekly thing?
It's all dropped at once.
Oh,
So
okay. How many episodes? Like 9?
I'll
8,
probably try
9.
watching it as well then. It's on
Yeah.
Prime, right?
Yeah,
Or
I'm hearing
something.
conflicting things. I'm hearing it's good from some people and bad from others. I don't really know. I have to see
So
for myself.
I feel like the general consensus I'm reading because I've talked to a couple people.
So I feel it's
Uh,
like member berry. It's
I've
like,
read a lot of reviews.
but like, or I also heard that like from others that it's actually really good.
I'm what I'm hearing is I'm hearing that I'm hearing that people who aren't like some people who are like Fallout fans I think quite like it. I feel like people who aren't necessarily Fallout fans are enjoying it. Um Proper like Fallout lore nerds, that's where I'm hearing more of like debates and arguments and stuff. Because I was reading, and I don't want to like say this is what the show does because I've not watched it yet. But I was reading like people were arguing on Twitter the other day that it completely decanonizes New Vegas, which is like the like is like the baby. It's like the beloved game of the
I
franchise.
mean,
Yeah, like
I mean,
it's
they're not wrong. After playing Fallout 4 first, and then playing 3, and then New Vegas, I really had to say, yeah, no, they're right. New Vegas is the best one.
Yeah, in terms of
I
like
was like,
writing and stuff.
Well, I
But
mean,
then I'm reading conflicting things that oh sorry.
well, I was just gonna say, like, if it does do that, I don't really care. And the reason I don't care is because this show doesn't matter. It's like within the Fallout games, if they ever make a Fallout 5, well, first of all, it's gonna be shit because it's Bethesda. Second of all,
yeah.
like Fallout is like a tainted franchise, like because of like Fallout
Yeah.
4 and then like Fallout 4 wasn't
76.
the greatest,
Yeah.
and 76 was like dog water. It's like it doesn't really matter. It's like if this show doesn't, because like this show is obviously is different from the games. Like it's creating its own lore. It's not the same universe.
Yeah, I think it is meant to be like a story in the same universe, but like
It can't be.
I mean,
mm,
how many vaults are actually in Fallout?
They just keep making
Like,
new
how many
ones.
vaults?
Like it doesn't really
it's
matter.
like 100 and something, but I'm not sure entirely.
It's
So
like Fallout 1
basically,
and
any one
2.
of them.
Like I guess like I'm pretty sure don't really matter to like 3 onwards.
Yeah, 122 volts.
I'm pretty sure that you've all been like explained like several times over.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure like the interiors have been changed like, across games. Like if I was a fan of Fallout and like a fan of New Vegas, like, I get it, but like I guess the only reason they did that is maybe they want to adapt New Vegas in some way.
Yeah, or I'm thinking like
What I'm surprised about is like
I'm
they decided to do something original rather than adapt the games.
yeah, I like the idea because I've always said that more video game movies and TV shows should do something like they should be like if the game is Star Wars, then like the show should be like Andor or Rogue One or something. Like I feel like they should do stuff that is the same universe but just its own thing. But the thing is that at this point I'm pretty sure Fallout lore is really inconsistent anyway,
I mean, that's
like
like my
particularly post Bethesda.
I guess that's my position. Like, if like the most recent game in the series was New Vegas, then yeah, I would get what I get, like the issues. However,
But because we've had 4 and 76, it's kind
it's
of
like
like
it's already been damaged. If they can create a good show, then it's alright. It's like if like New Vegas did happen, it's not going to affect the current story.
hmm.
Whereas, like if New Vegas was the most recent one, that's the basis of what the show will be about. Like it'll be like probably after New Vegas if they don't adapt it. So it would have to matter.
Yeah. I honestly, I'm definitely gonna watch Fallout, and I've heard really good things, and I think I'm probably ultimately gonna end up enjoying it. But I'm on like more so than the TV show. I'm just hyped for Fallout London at the moment.
Oh
Remind me
man,
what that is. You told me
like
this before.
for a mod.
So it's
It's a mod, right?
yeah, it's a total conversion mod for Fallout 4 that's coming out not next week, week after. It's coming out on like it's coming out on like the 20 something 23rd.
Yeah.
You know what I wish they would do? I wish they would have some like product placement where like Yorkshire tea
Okay.
is in the game.
Okay, I will add something to that. First of all,
Was fan made, right?
actually, first of all, don't listen to me. The game's apparently been delayed indefinitely because of like a
course.
next gen Fallout 4 update. Which is annoying because I was really looking forward to that. But second of all, there is, you know how there's a Nuka Cola in Fallout.
Mhm.
Yeah,
In Fallout London, there's Ion Brew.
That's clever. Yeah.
that's actually pretty good. Is it orange as well, or
Yeah.
what other British sodas do we have? Well, that one's Scottish actually, so
Well, we had Lilt, but
I don't know how you could do lilt to Fallout
yeah,
and
I don't know how you can make it like nuke themed. but there's like lots of other things because the whole idea behind it is it's because Fallout in the Fallout games we never see outside of the US,
Yeah, like
so it's
is it
kind
even
of
like is it even lore or is the lore that like no one knows?
there's like tiny hints and stuff of lore, but we never really get anything sort of
So
concrete. We don't really know the state of the world outside
yeah,
the
so
US.
so like what actually caused the war in Fallout? Do you know?
I don't know exactly. I think it was mostly just resources.
Because it was it's between like Russia and US, right? It was like Cold War. That's like the
Yeah, it
bullshit.
was I can't remember who exactly. I know I think it's China who nukes the US
What, China
ultimately. Yeah.
during the Cold War?
It's not because it's not during the Cold War. It's
Was it like a
kind of like
yeah, because it's a fictionalized word, so it's like a brand new war.
yeah, because the Fallout universe
It's alternate history.
like in the Fallout universe is alternate history. So it was 2077 when
Oh,
the yeah, it was 2077 I think, or 2070, yeah, 2076 because Fallout 76, I don't know. But yeah, so essentially that's when when like the nukes were dropped. And so I think like all the games, I think like 76 was meant to be like 20 years after the nukes.
yeah. I think it's April
Um,
76. That's like the vault that you come out from.
yeah, yeah. Most of them are like set. Um, like I think by I think by like New Vegas and like 4, it's probably been like 200 years since the nukes.
Does it actually? I can't remember in Fallout 4 or something how many years it was until you're left out of the vault.
Um, I think
What?
Fallout 4 was 100 years, but I might be wrong. Fallout. Actually, no, I think Fallout 4 was 200 years. I think Fallout 3 it was like 100 years or something, like before the vault was open for the first time.
Before
You
or
know, I
after?
think it
You
would
mean?
be interesting for like Fallout London, like even though everything's like gone to shit, the underground still works or something. Uh,
Well, like
Yeah.
if like like Bethesda decided to make an actual like Fallout game set in the UK, it could be interesting.
Hmm.
because London in itself, I know like some people like obviously you see London and on the map and you think it is going to be small, but London's technically really, really big. So you could
Oh
have like
yeah.
a lot to do and like for example, like not just Big Ben and everything, but I would genuinely like to see because I don't know if the developers are British themselves, but I want to see parts of London that are like proper London, basically like Brick Lane, Camden Market. I think Brick Lane could be super useful in terms of when it comes to music in Fallout. So Fallout music
Yeah.
obviously set straight up in the 1950s, 1960s style
Hmm.
music. And Brick Lane is full of vinyls, full of material to be used. Like it's kind of a no-brainer for me, honestly.
Yeah. Now I'm pretty sure it is in the game. I can't remember what like boroughs of London um they've like fully adapted, but I feel like it would be a missed opportunity for like no Brick Lane, no Camden, no I'll have to
Alexandra Palace would be a good one, to be honest.
yeah. Yeah, actually. I'm just quickly
Well,
googling like
Ali Pali. Hmm.
Ali Pali. I was
Yeah,
actually at Ali Pali recently for a gig.
it's a good place. Like, I went ice skating there, though I kind of like tore myself apart, so I wouldn't
Ah,
really recommend it. Yeah.
yeah, I went there to see The Smile. I don't know if anyone listens to them, but it was really good, really good.
Hmm.
Well, out London locations, I want to quickly like see what places they've confirmed.
Yeah, because obviously gonna have to do the main attractions and touristy destinations.
London Eye, Big
Everything.
Ben, Parliament.
Yeah.
Yeah, Camden is in the game, luckily.
Okay, good.
Like
Because
Islington,
it's like
Hackney,
one of those parts
Greenwich.
of London that you shouldn't miss out on. It's funny, like because I was talking to some American people because of VR chat and stuff. I
Mhm.
mainly talk to Americans mainly because they're the most likely to be found
Be online,
on
yeah.
anything. Um, they always talk about going to London, and I have to tell them the truth. As someone who obviously lives here, like Big Ben and everything like that, I guess they are like nice attractions, but they're not the main attraction in my opinion. I think you got if you're really into vintage stuff, it's Brick Lane. If you got Camden Market for the food's really good there. And to be honest, other parts of the UK are actually better than London. Like,
Yeah, I was in Shoreditch the other day, and I was like, because again, it comes back to my Polaroids. I was taking my Polaroids there, and I was just like, you know what? I do really like London, but I don't really like Central. If that,
Like Cardiff's
yeah.
pretty good. Like
Hmm.
I went to Cardiff for a few years, because I got like family in Wales. But like it kind of this is like it's like castles just like in the middle of town centre.
Yeah,
It's
like
really
that's
cool.
badass.
I'll be honest, Warwick is actually pretty good. I personally liked Warwick Castle. That was cool. And we got a lot of seaside towns really. To be honest, I think if you're really coming to the UK,
Like Dover.
try to come in the summer and try to
Yeah.
go to a seaside.
Go to the Lake District. That's my recommendation. The Lake District is awesome.
Actually, yeah, I'll add to that. Lake District, but I need to be specific on what seasides I'm talking about. Brighton, I'm not exactly super sure.
I
Unless
actually
you're
really like Brighton. I think it's like a nice vibe.
It's a nice vibe, but I think it's better. It's probably better at nighttime, to be honest. Like it just,
Yeah.
I was there at night, and funny enough, like the first time I ever been there, like at nighttime, it was at nighttime, and I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I see the point of Brighton. It is expensive. Don't get me wrong. It's probably more expensive than London. But at least I can get there by train. So
Yeah. I think the trickiest thing is depending on like where you're coming from. In the UK, essentially going like into London always ends up costing more money. So say you have to like go from like one place to like go into London to then get another train to go somewhere else.
oh yeah, no, it's
Just
stupid.
London is so expensive, it's unreal.
I wish there was like like a new a city like somewhere like in the north that was like a job hub that could like compete with London. So it's not everything's not just like located down south.
Yeah, that would be
Like,
nice.
so, 'cause we got like Edinburgh and Cardiff, like capitals of like Scotland and Wales. However, they don't really matter. It's like London's the one that matters.
Yeah, I'm
Like
planning actually
I've been told
just
Birmingham is up and coming, which I hope so because I might be working there soon.
yeah, but
Um,
Birmingham's Birmingham.
yeah, that's the thing. Birmingham's Birmingham. I saw like this one video that somebody sent me, right? And it's a bunch of like people waking up to be like to go inside of a club, and like it's a bunch of women in like black dresses as well. And my friend was like, "Look, it's the UK Beast Pokemon Center." I was like,
That's good. Basically, for any Americans watching, Birmingham's our Detroit, basically. So
Wait, to be honest, London. I think London has a bit of Detroit now. Everyone's getting
yeah,
no. London has a bit of Chicago because everyone who gets shot
hmm,
up in Chicago is basically getting shanked up in London.
I
You
mean,
could,
it's
yeah,
just a comparison. Like London is New York.
hmm,
no, New York is like a watch thievery, which actually, you know what? Yeah, watch and jewelry. Basically, if you got a nice watch in London, yeah, you're kind of just done for. If you got a nice chain in London, you're done for. If you're wearing anything nice, you're done for.
Yeah, but I think it was in 2016 that like London had had a higher murder rate than New York.
Uh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, but there was a lot
wild,
of news
but
going around, like literally kids stabbing each other up. So like it got really crazy. You had the postcode wars, and then you had people in those postcodes within the postcodes, fighting each other and all this other crap. It was really really dumb. I think it still goes on to this day. I'm not exactly sure. Uh, you know, it's kind of funny actually because I was talking to an American person and they know about Luton. So I was like, yeah, Luton is shit, don't get me wrong. But they
Oh
were
yeah,
mentioning that
that's
should
such a
I go
shock.
to
Like I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and like the guy just brought up Luton. I just got shell shocked. I was like, what?
wait, like which person?
I can't remember. I just know I was watching a YouTube video, and like the guy in the video just like said Luton. I was like, what? Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, what are you talking about us for? No, but yeah, I
So,
mentioned to him like Yeah,
But
like
who knows
Luton is
fucking Luton?
here. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like Luton in itself is quite cheap. It's not too bad. They actually found out that Luton had an airport and said, would it be better to go to Luton Airport and then like stay in Luton and go to London? And I'm like, actually, honestly, yeah, because if you take a hotel near the Luton train station, you can get to you can get to London in like 20 minutes with the EMR, and it's
Yeah.
cheap.
Well, yeah, but like,
Just
So
don't go anywhere else there. Like it's actually
well,
it's
now that's
actually hell on earth.
what you have to weigh up. Do you want to get robbed in Luton or do you get robbed in London?
Yeah,
Because
both.
if you
I
go to
mean,
Luton and say Luton, you're gonna get like mugged. If you go to like the touristy parts of London, you're gonna get like highway robbery. Like everything's
I think just
like super
like
expensive.
exercise caution wherever you go. Like
yeah,
I
true.
feel like London London obviously there is like a high crime rate and stuff.
Mm.
But if you sort of like if you have your wits about you, if you know what you're doing, you don't go down just like random dark alleyways and stuff and
It-
then
yeah.
Yeah, true.
If
Like,
you're
cause
like above 6 foot, you're fine because like everyone in London is fucking like 5'4".
yeah.
like for talking about going in the right place as well. Like, I was told that Birmingham is sort of fine. It's just Digbeth that you need to be careful of. So one of my friends who DJs, he did a gig up there in Digbeth, and he didn't take anything with him that was of significant value. So, because that's got like the kind of the shit area basically of Birmingham. But they said like around the city centre everything's nice. In terms of anywhere, like yeah, anywhere that I'd say is very, very popular for tourism or just very popular in general, always exercise caution. I'd say even for like place like Amsterdam, Barcelona,
Yeah.
not anything can happen. Especially with Amsterdam, if you're going up there to do certain things, like don't well obviously I'm not going to say expect to get robbed, but expect what might happen if you make trouble, you know what I mean? um
I really want to start planning a trip to Amsterdam, but I don't want to go by myself so that everyone doesn't assume I'm just heading up to the red light district.
I mean, I went by myself, and yeah, I mean I didn't even do anything. I went to the museums.
Yeah,
um
yeah. I mean, like
but
that's cool. That's cool. But I just like I don't want everyone making that assumption when I get back.
the only weird thing is though, the train to Amsterdam is more expensive than a flight to Amsterdam. It could just be
Yeah.
no, I'm in Luton. I went through Luton Airport, right? And they were so much more cheaper. It was actually super odd. And bear in mind, I did this around uh like December time. So why was it so more expensive? I will never understand.
I really don't get that. I actually find it really annoying that trains. I don't know what it's like around the world, but trains in the UK are so expensive, and they're also just shit. Like they just don't work half the time.
It's
Uh,
it's super strange. I've been late to so many things, and actually, fun fact, I got fined recently. I got my first ever fine from a train ticket,
oh
and I had to pay
yikes!
for it. And it's because I accidentally paid for a rail card ticket, and I didn't realize my rail card was expired.
Ah
So,
shit.
Yes, you ruined it
yeah, no,
manually.
so I just had to pay 50 quid.
I'm
But
lucky my rail card's on my train line app,
yeah,
so
mine's on my train line app, but I didn't know it expired because I barely used it. And the funny
yeah.
thing is, like, to be honest, like there have been times where you could pay for a train ticket, but depending on where you're going, you could just pay for the station beforehand and then get onto the thing,
Yeah.
depending on, you know. But yeah, no, the trains are kind of shit. What's even weirder is if you go around nighttime, we're talking about 11, 12 a.m., they just have the doors open anyway, because what are they going to do? Are they going to really check at nighttime? But I don't know if they
Hmm.
would.
What do you mean by
'Cause,
doors?
you know the doors that you enter the train station, sometimes they just leave them open.
Yeah,
But
what you mean the
very specific ones.
you mean the what are they called? Not the toll
They're like
gates.
gates,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, the ticket thing.
I thought the reason they did that was they just have them because like they have them open sometimes when I used to go into Stevenage, but I thought that's when they do it when like there's just that like there's like an issue with them, so just let them know so they just to
No, no,
stop traffic.
it can be completely random at points, but yeah, like they're just open. And I think nowadays as well, they finally added the contactless thing. So if you just have your card, you just tap and go. But if you got a rail card, that's meaningless then because you need to use a rail card.
I mean, that's been in
And I
Stevenage
need
like
to,
forever.
yeah, and I need to buy a rail card now because fucking, paying 50
Yeah.
quid wasn't harsh enough.
But I was actually gonna say like I'm really like interested in just the idea of I feel like just in my head, like on paper, I love the idea of just traveling, like traveling across Europe by train.
It
But
might be cheaper, might be.
yeah, like the thing is, it might be,
It might
but
be.
it also might not be. Because like the way I look at it is, it's a longer journey. So like arguably for the sake of like technically speaking, it's more of an inconvenience than it is to take the plane. But if it's going to cost more as well on top of that, then I like wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, it doesn't
But
make sense because I'm on the Eurostar website now, just for reference. So let's just say, well, we'll be realistic, right?
yeah,
We'll do 29th of this month, and you'll um, come back. Let's do 9th of
mm,
May, right? That's 188 quid. And bear in mind that it takes longer to get to Paris, London to Paris, Paris to London. Um, I think for London to Amsterdam, it was like for both ways 200 quid, which does make any sense.
yeah,
And they have this on their website. Oh, London to Paris for 29 quid. No, 39 quid. No, it isn't. It's got an asterisk in it. And this is just the
yeah.
trains alone. This isn't train and hotel, which is,
Mm.
you know, um,
Funnily enough, I've just got my passport recently. I've just literally got it renewed, and
oh, nice.
because I've been thinking of going. I'm planning on trying to go. I'm literally like talking about every place I want to go now, but I've been trying to like plan a trip to Italy in like a month to a couple months. I've not really decided yet. But essentially with that there's actually like a train route that goes for literally like 25 to 30 something quid, like something really stupid. You can literally take a train from within Italy to Switzerland, and I
Ooh.
really want to go Switzerland, so I'm like, maybe not this time, but at some point I want to try and kill two birds with one stone and go to both in like a single sort of like
You,
journey, I
you could
guess.
do a hostel situation as well if you're going to go down that route, because I think main thing about Switzerland is it's bloody expensive. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Nah, that's kind of like essentially what I was thinking. I just want to make sure that like the hostels I stay at are like safe, and that I maybe like travel light as well, because
so yeah,
I
I would recommend to travel light, especially for when I did Barcelona. I traveled semi light, but then again, like I knew again what to do. It's just and if anything, people are going to help you around the
yeah,
place because they don't want to get mugged, like or not mugged but pickpocketed. They understand
yeah.
how shit it is, and they will like be like, what, it's a stupid thing, but
Mm.
it is
The
what it is.
problem now is that because I have a bit of like a fancier phone, I'm kind of like so much more anxious about losing it. So
I'd say get
um,
insured. Honestly,
yeah,
like getting stuff insured is probably one of the best things ever because it removes the feeling of, okay, if something does happen to me, yeah, it's going to be shit, but at least I know I'll get the insurance back. So I've always insured my trips. And funny enough, I told one of my coworkers to insure her shit because she had more expensive stuff. So she had a Polaroid, um, an iPhone 12, I think, an iPhone 12 or something, and some other stuff. All of it was completely stolen, and the
ah,
Polaroids within the
Christ,
pictures were stolen as well. So,
that
and I
sucks.
told her this. I told you should have insured because you would have gotten the money back, and yeah, you wouldn't have got the pictures back, but it's something, right? And this happened, and bear in mind, she was with a group. She was with a group of people that I knew from work. They all know each other, and she got pickpocketed. When I was by myself, I didn't get pickpocketed. But that's just luck, right? But at the same time, it's it's just because you're with people doesn't mean your risk is going to go down. It's
Mm.
you kind of have to keep yourself thinking, right? So that's how it is.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not great. And I do think I'll I don't think like actually look into insurance. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
trips do cost money, and I don't want to be like spending so much on top of it, but at the same time, like
Oh
I'll
no,
be
my
crying.
insurance was like 10, 15 quid.
Oh,
So
that's basically nothing then. Sorry.
yeah, but bear in mind you obviously have a limit on what you can bring. So I would
Yeah,
always
yeah.
say like even if you buy the insurance, always call up and say to clarify. Bear in mind this is what say if I'm bringing my iPad and my phone that comes up to 100, 1,000. I need them to clarify and make sure so
Yeah.
I don't get
Yeah.
stifled out my
Yeah. You need
crap.
that in writing. Like, don't just like accept a verbal communication.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, true as well. Like always have everything like in terms of yeah, just anything. But basically, I'm also looking at just to clarify, like with Amsterdam in general. So if we do Eurostar Amsterdam, let's see here. You're gonna laugh at this because or
Oh
cry
boy.
from how stupid it sounds. So Amsterdam Central is what I'm gonna say because you actually go directly to Amsterdam. You don't go to the airport,
Hmm.
which has a train to Amsterdam Central as well. You're going straight to Amsterdam Central from London. This is a 4 hour 10 train ride, which is normal
Yeah.
because it's a train. It's not a plane,
Hmm.
is it? Uh, guess the prices of it.
213.
You okay? Okay, yeah, yeah, you were close. Now I'm gonna put in Monday 29th all the way to uh can I not do a return? Okay, well I'll just do the return. Wait, come on.
Well, it sounds like a day thing. So like that's how like they function, or at least that's how I believe they function. So if it's gonna be like 4 hours, I don't really think it will. You can really do a return.
I'm not sure really, but yeah. So if I do these dates, 29th April to 3rd of May, um, so the lowest fare is 74 quid, and that's standard, which I think is just like you know, first class, well, standard class, first class, and stuff.
Mm.
We'll do that, and then we'll add the return, which is the hell is the return? Can I not add the return? Yeah. So already I can tell. It's it's 169 quid. For some reason.
So
No, just for one way
yeah, so
on a
one
certain
way,
day.
and that's
But the other one is 82 quid, and that's from EasyJet. So imagine all of that. That is just horrible.
Mm. Yeah, luckily I'm not too big on travel, so I have to worry
yeah.
about
See,
itinerary.
I'm only just getting into it. That's the problem. And like I'm more than comfortable like traveling in this
Sorry,
country, even though
I miscalculated because now I know how the website works. So
ah
74 plus 189, that's 263 quid for for a Monday to Friday week in Amsterdam, and that's by train. In EasyJet, it's 82 quid, and
Mm.
these are basic seats, not first class, not business class, none of that crap. You know, um, yeah.
Mm.
Imagine that.
yeah, nah, that's
No way.
travel is just too much now,
Oh,
sadly.
fuck that shit.
Imagine all the stuff you could buy for 260 quid.
Literally, yeah.
260. And that's the base. Like that's just economy. Like business is like okay, business class you get a free meal by a high class chef. Fair enough. But the Asian in me is saying instead of that, how about we just bring our own food on board? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I might have to research this, but we have a youth ticket. How old is everyone here? So I'm 23. I'm gonna be 23 soon.
Yeah, I'm 24.
But
24 next month.
so there's a youth ticket that's 12 to 25, and I just found out they do not change the prices of this. It's still 263 quid. Sorry, I thought we did something there.
We ain't do shit.
We didn't do shit there.
It's
What?
just how it
What?
is.
Oh my god. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
Hmm.
my family, my brother and my father are going to go down to London Comic Con in May,
Okay.
but it's like a 30 quid like entrance ticket as like is like the average is like VIP, but if it's like if that's the price, then everyone's gonna have it. But then there's also gonna be like a 20 quid like return for the like
For
for
the
like return
train.
ticket each. But if they drive down, then they have to pay like the fucking toll, don't they?
The ULEZ, but the ULEZ is like 12 quid, so it's really up to them. I personally think with how the ULEZ is, it depends on how flexible you want to be if you want to leave. But then again, every train ticket will work no matter what your timing is. So if you buy a train ticket that says, "Oh, we're gonna leave at 9 p.m." to whatever time you get there, you can go before 9 p.m. and just get the train. So
I feel like the
um,
trains in this country should be like renationalized because like there is no point in having an industry where like that can't compete with anyone.
No, it used to be public, and it used to be really fairly priced.
I
I
know,
think
like
we
during like denationalization, the rails were one of them. However, like rails like one of the only ones that can't function properly because like privately owned businesses compete with each other. That's how like prices like fluctuate and go down and stuff. But with rails, you can't really build new rails. That's not really something that like private companies can do.
Mm.
And it's like a private company is not going to make a new rail system right next to an existing one to compete. So they can't. If it was
So yeah,
nationalized and like
so
it's all up to government and it could be a public good, but like out of anything, like I feel like I'm okay with taxes going towards paying for like railway, so like it could be like really cheap. Like imagine if like
yeah, like if it's
a return ticket to London. Imagine if it was like 2 quid.
yeah,
Oh no, that's a pipe dream. But no, it used to actually be cheap like that to go to London and stuff. And the thing is, I wouldn't mind paying towards the railway like that because the railway in itself it is actually really good. It's just that the way that it's been kept up, and then you got this whole thing about people jumping the trains and also, um, just random shit occurring, which makes the trains not even work for the entire day, or people jumping onto the trains not making it work for the entire day, train tracks. Um, yeah, like it just makes it a lot more worse. But it
someone
can be good, and we have the stuff to make it work. Because London in itself, if you look at how the railway's like done, it's you go into everything goes straight into London, and that does make sense because a lot of people work in London, right? But then you
yeah.
can go up north, like straight up into like Nottingham,
Yeah,
and that's just one straight train, or probably a couple of changes, but
you know,
the
like if the
it works.
yeah, if like the train tickets were like if you get like a 2 quid return ticket to London, then like I feel like a lot of young people could start like working in London because currently
Yeah,
if you want to get like work experience in like London where all of like the big businesses are, then like kind of facts like if you're only getting minimum wage as like a an apprenticeship or an intern, then like 2 hours of your time is gonna be what you have to work to get like to pay off your train ticket for the day.
Oh, no, it's kind of worse than that. You can get an annual ticket, but it'll cost you around about 5 or 6 grand.
yeah. It's like who's gonna spend that?
No, see, now that's the thing. Some apprenticeship providers, but I can only say some, do sponsor the travel, which is good, but
Mm.
they're not all of them are going to do it, and it kind of sucks actually because like, um, London can be a good place to work, but are you really going to take 2 hours of your entire day going back and forward, back and forward, back and forward? You're going to lose your mind, really. You either have to like live there and then take on the costs of rent and everything, or just
Which is
suck it
like
up.
impossible to pay, basically.
Yeah, and if you're on an apprentice salary, um, you won't be on a salary after paying the rent and stuff. You're going to be broke. You're going to be more broke than the bloody university students there, probably. Yeah. Which is why I guess like everything up north, that's more cheaper. You don't have to deal with that, and also, you know, I think working in London can be good, but I think you turn into a bit of a different person afterwards. Um, I've met people who worked in London all their life, and they're much more grumpier than people working up north or like any other area.
Well, it's like city
And
life, though, ain't it? That's just how it is.
yeah, no, they'll like it's kind of sad really because
Yeah,
they
I've
do like the people around them, they just don't like the work, and obviously London is London, isn't it?
I've not worked in London, but I've studied in London briefly, and honestly, I just think like there's again we've kind of discussed it a bit, but there's like things to like in London. I think too much of cities, I think. But London definitely especially can just be like super draining, I think. And adding on top of that just like the money spent on like travel to go there daily basically. Like I didn't again I've never worked in London, but I've had like I've had like jobs where the travel has been a bit more than I would have wanted to. And genuinely, when you do 5 days a week on travel that ends up taking you like over an hour to like 2 hours, you're just miserable.
Yeah, no, like I can attest to that. I mean, I'm glad my new role is like 1 day a week in office, and yeah, I'll figure it out essentially. Like probably just stay over the night or whatever. But
Mm,
for some reason, for me, London is like clearly the one that kind of takes the cake when it comes to travel because not only is it expensive, but if you're going around a certain district in London, the underground is like not great either because of the prices of the underground. So
yeah.
there's one time I had to go to a work social, and I went to Farringdon because of what Google Maps told me, and then I went straight into the Farringdon Underground. And this was really stupid because it should not let you do this. I obviously tapped out of the Underground, right? After like going to my destination. But I never tapped in because I was already at Farringdon. So what did it do to me? It made me pay for the full fare, which was like 19 quid. And I had to like dispute it. And I don't think I ever got the money back. But
Oh, I've literally been I don't want to go like too much into detail about it, but I've literally been like disputing the fucking like train companies lately because it's extortionate, it's trash. The service that you get provided half of the time just doesn't it just never works as intended, it's
it just really doesn't work sometimes. Like I only take it for short travels now from like Luton to wherever else, but that's about it really. If I'm going into London, then I don't know, maybe I'll take the EMR or something, or go for something really. But
hmm,
the EMR is like it's only designed. It's only gonna go to either Luton, London, Bedford. It won't go to like specific places. It only goes to like the main places, if that makes sense. But that's why it's
yeah.
fast. So your best bet is to actually just take another train. And at least like the good thing is you don't get any more cost for taking a different train as long as it goes back to the original destination. So that says on your ticket.
Hmm. Yeah, I've only ever. I used to take the train to Stevenage just for work. It's only like a 10-minute train ride. Any longer, like it was like a half hour, then it wouldn't be a bit much. Then like the price would like double.
Which is super weird though. For a 10-minute train ride, it shouldn't be that expensive.
It's like £6 now.
What? No, that doesn't make any sense. Oh no, wait, no. Actually, Luton is around like 5-6 quid now. Luton to Leagrave,
Mm.
or Leagrave to Luton.
That's like on busy days. Like, I think on Saturdays where the trains like it's like half the price, like £3.50, because like
Yeah,
they're making more
because
money on Saturdays.
yeah, or you can get an advance ticket. That's mainly what I would like to do as well. But advance tickets are so rare, and you basically have to like gamble the fact that yeah, you're going to be on in this day, which is unlikely in it.
But also, it's like the shitty things like with the rail card, right? Because
Mhm.
with the rail card, it doesn't work before 10 a.m. Meaning,
Yeah,
if you're using it for work, then you're not actually saving any money.
Hmm.
aren't you saving the money when you get back from work?
Well, no, not because you're buying like a return ticket, and a return ticket is only 10 pence more than like a single.
Ah, yeah, fair point. Fair
So
point.
so if you want to if you start work before like 11, then you have to like obviously you're just paying the full amount, so there's no point getting a rail card unless
I
you own
think one worst thing as well is like if you accidentally buy a train ticket on the wrong date, which is what I've done, I couldn't switch it to another date. That would be quite nice as well. I've only done that mistake once, but it's such a stupid mistake because I'm going on train line and I thought I went on Saturday, but I accidentally scrolled it back to Friday when I was closing it, and I didn't realize until like uh, afterwards, which makes me stupid, sure, but it's the same price of a ticket. Or if you want me to, I'll just pay the difference, but you it would be nice.
Yeah, I think that's about everything when it comes to trains, I suppose.
Yeah,
I suppose.
just TLDL, I guess. Trains
TLDR.
suck. Well, I'm thinking too long didn't listen, but
Oh yeah.
Don't come to the UK. The trains suck. Don't come to the UK at all. Just don't come here.
yeah, just don't come to the UK. Like, if you
don't
want to
come
go
to
on a
the UK.
holiday to like anywhere, just go like I don't know, fucking
Go bother the
like
Swiss.
Actually,
yeah.
no, that reminds me. This all reminded me of a story now. I think I saw online. Two friends that lived in different parts of the UK, both went to Spain to meet each other because it was much more cheaper to meet in Spain than to see each other in the UK
Yeah, well,
That's
because of the trains.
that's actually so funny.
I'm not
That,
surprised.
like this. Here's the problem, and here's our solution. But the solution is like way out of order, like way extraordinary than you may have thought. That was really funny.
There's like someone's in
I think
Blackpool,
I
the
don't know
others
where
like
they
in
met
Hull.
in Spain. Mhm.
We've been going for about 2 hours. You guys want to call it?
Yeah, we should
I
call
say
it.
yeah, we should probably.
Yeah. Cool. I haven't eaten anything, so I'm probably gonna
Yeah,
go have
I'm
something to eat.
reckoning probably chuck some food on, and then
Yeah. I'll
I
probably
don't know.
I'll probably check out the Fallout show. To be fair.
Yeah, I might try and watch it. If not, I might watch it tomorrow.
Any
But
final thoughts?
um, I don't really know. I think we've. It's hard to have final thoughts when we've covered so much in like today's.
I mean, train's bad. Smiling Friends good. Watch
Yeah.
watch episode 1 and watch Arcane. I guess that's to sum up.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, see ya.